I'm going to title this Ready to Go to War for a Con Artist. And this is a crazy article about how people are just ready to like lay down their arms and go to war for this guy Trump, who don't even care about them. And it's really ridiculous. So I go to Yahoo News and shout out Brad Brooks, Nathan Lane, and Tim Reed. And this is why Republican voters say there's no way in hell Trump lost. And basically the first story talks about this 50-year-old chiropractor where he was the first time in 2016, he was for Ted Cruz. So he wasn't even a Donald Trump's fan. And now he ended up joining a South Plains Patriot group with a few hundred members that includes a reactionary force of about 36. And basically they all have guns and they're ready for Trump to just give the signal and they're ready to go to war.
What I would say is that, I talked about the potential of a civil war before the election and people thought I was crazy. And, then the election happened and everybody's like, well, we're not in a civil war, so everything is fine. And I say, don't sleep. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just because the war hasn't broken out yet doesn't mean anything, because the people who are going to start this war they still don't even believe he lost. They still don't believe that he has lost the election. So what is there even the reason for them to start the war on? It's not going to be until he gets forced out. If he gets forced out, that's going to enrage them, because that's when they're really going to come out saying, no, he didn't lose. How are you going to take our man out? And that I'm telling you, get ready to take to the streets at that point.
Yeah, I think these people, I tell you, they believe what they believe because it made Fox News money to lie all this time, because that's all they watch. That's all they watch. And that's what, and they kept pushing Trump, all the lies that he said, all the talk shows, the talk radio, because they wanted to keep the audience engaged. So they'll just say whatever lie Trump said, he's like, damn, we got to back it. And then after that, whenever, politicians are running, they wanted Trump's endorsement because they didn't want people to go against him. So it was like a loop that kept feeding on itself, and it got to the point now that when Fox News wasn't that crazy and they say, oh, I guess Biden did win, now they don't want to watch them either. And now they're going to One American News. So those people they're already in a cult, man. They're not going anywhere. Or a lot of them are not going anywhere as long as they keep watching these kind of places that all they cares about is money.
This is where I think, when Gabe and I always tell you guys that we don't give Trump enough credit. Like, he knows he lost, but he's going to milk his fan base and he's going to take that money. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's going to take their money. He's going to say, yeah, we lost. We didn't lose. They rig it. And they're like, oh, donate $20, $25, $100, whatever you can. And then he's going to switch it up to one of his account. And then come like January, he's going to be like, yeah, we just need to go do whatever you want. But he already took all the money from them.
Yeah. The donations went up to 75% going to his account instead of the recount.
That's crazy. At the beginning, it was half, right?
It kept going up.
Wow, that's crazy. The other day, I saw 60%. I hadn't heard of 75%. So pretty much, if you're donating to Trump's reelection or Trump's litigation fund, 75% is going to pay Trump's debt, and only 25% is going to what you actually were donating for. Yeah. That is a crazy number. Who reads the terms and conditions? It's like when you sign off on a new app that you downloaded and they say read the terms and conditions, nobody reads it. And the same thing happens here. You could be somebody who's trying to do what you think is the right thing by trying to donate to Trump and to help his litigation, but he's already grifting. He's already conning them during that. Even on the way out is the final con that he's getting in to get people to give him money, people that don't have money, people that are working people. And he's going to take 75 cents of each dollar and put it into his own debt where he's a billionaire. It's socialism. He's socializing his debt. It's preposterous. And then they call the left socialists, and Trump is using his base to socialize his debt. It is.
I think you gotta give him credit though. It's like that. A lot of people don't. They're like, he's not that smart. That's a pretty smart move. You take advantage of your base.
Yeah, I mean, true. But I think it's like whatever. I think that some people they're either stupid. I'm sorry to say it, or they. I
don't like the word stupid. I like the word ignorant.
It's not ignorant.
I prefer people that don't, because Trump,
it's not ignorant.
Fox News is misinforming people. They've been.
Let me tell you why. It's
they don't even believe Fox News anymore.
because it's like they don't believe in sunk cost fallacy. They'd rather just continue with the charade and get robbed than actually admit that they were wrong. I told somebody that's a Trump supporter about this money, and he said, like, well, Gore did it too for his recount. I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Even do a recount.
Wow. for litigation to take it to the Supreme Court. I'm like, what? Did he take all this percentage or whatever? I was like, yeah, you know what? Just show me. Send me an article, something. Show me.
Yeah.
Of course he never did.
Of course not.
He never did. But they rather continue to be taken advantage of than to actually admit that they were wrong about anything related to Trump.
There have been studies that show that people that watch Fox News are actually less informed than people that don't watch any
news. Yeah, I heard. I saw that
so
from
that's
Fordham University.
And what's interesting, the interesting twist in this is that now that Fox News has kind of come out and said, you know what, the election does appear that Joe Biden's the president-elect, and we need to get behind him and whatever. People are now turning away from Fox News and saying, well, now you're wrong. So even though they follow Fox News religiously for so long, as soon as Fox News goes against what they've been programming their base for, the base turned on them. It's like if you created a monster and then the monster turns on you. So Fox News is like the Dr. Frankenstein.
Yo,
listen, get ready for Trump TV.
Trump TV is coming.
Next.
But that's one thing. The one thing that I'm happy about this is how they turn on Fox News. It's like, yeah, I hope your ratings drop. That's what you created.
I have some interesting stats that I put together from what I could find, at least, and it's kind of a joke, but I looked at like what some of the popular conspiracy theories are and how much like support they have in America. So approximately 7% believe that psychic readings are real. About the same amount believe that chemtrails exist. 13% believe astrology is real. 16% are not even sure if the Earth is a sphere. Mm-hmm. And then look at first of all, we all know that that's all crazy, right?
Have you been to space, Izzy? Have you seen the Earth?
Don't give them fodder. And then, but then you think about it, almost 50% of America voted for this guy, and a vast majority. Well, maybe I shouldn't say a vast majority, but a lot of people who voted for him also believe that he won this election. So that number has to be higher than all those numbers I just gave you of those crazy conspiracy theories. And that is so scary to me.
Yeah, so it seems like I think that this guy Trump is ready for 2024, man. I think he's coming back. The only way we could prevent him from coming back is the Democrats to pass a law that say you need to show 10 years of your taxes. Do you think that the Democrats are going to do it?
No.
Nope.
That one is so easy. That one is that's
it's a layup.
So easy that.
But that's why they're not going to do it. It's too easy.
No. You guys are too negative sometimes.
I'm cynical,
that
man.
one is like a duh. Like what will they have to lose from that?
But hey, right when they won the House, the first thing everybody thought that they were going to do was get Trump's taxes.
The Senate was not going to do it.
No, the House.
And you
think
they're going to do it now?
And they're not doing it now either. But it's just funny how Americans forget. Like, we just go along with what the mainstream media gives us. I feel like they literally could have gotten Trump's taxes when they first took the House back in 2018, I believe it was, and they did not do anything. Matter of fact, they made sure they didn't, because the New York State could have gotten his taxes too, and the House prevented it. I forgot the guy's name. Prevented the New York from revealing it. Go ahead, Carlito.
Yeah, but that was because that legislation was, I think it was more broad than that. And there was the guy, I forgot his name, but I think the guy you're talking about, he has some kind of shady deals going on. So he didn't want to reveal his own stuff.
You're absolutely right.
But if you make it to be like only people running for president, they'll pass that. I think they could pass that. Man. I don't even see how even Mitch would not do it unless they think Trump is going to run again. That's the only way the Republican senators wouldn't even go for it. Yo. But if the Democrats happen to win these runoffs in Georgia and they get +1 and they got a majority with Kamala to be in the deciding vote, I think they could pass that.
Doesn't matter if they pass it because Trump can show his tax returns and just be like, yeah, I didn't pay any taxes. Like it came out when some of his tax returns were leaked. and they showed that he hadn't paid hardly any taxes, that middle class working people paid more taxes than billionaire Donald Trump. And he just flipped it. He's like, well, it's because I'm smart. It's because I have the best accountants. It's because of this. So if that could have only stopped him in 2016, if it happens in the future, it's not going to necessarily be a bad thing with his base, because he really can't do anything wrong to get his base.
But this is what I'm talking about, not depending on norms. You can't just assume people are just going to follow what everybody else has done. If you want something to happen, you got to make it into a law. So if you want to set a precedence for the future, anybody else is running, then just make it a law and stop depending on people to actually do what, you know, the norms were at a time when we actually care about them.
Carlito, I don't know if you're being affected by the hot lamps you have on you, but it sounds like you have a fever. If you think that Mitch McConnell is going to pass even a law that's simple,
I was thinking the same thing.
That's going to get through this.
No, that's what I said. It depends. If there's any chance of him thinking that Trump is going to run again, then probably not. But you know, if the Democrats have 50 plus Kamala, then yeah, I think
that reminds me of the old Key and Peele skit where they had Obama that was going for everything opposite of what the Republicans were going for. So he would take their side, and then they would have to go against him in order to just be against him. So he would get his laws passed. So they would be like, you know what? I hate healthcare. I want nobody to have healthcare. And then the Republicans would be like, no, everyone needs healthcare. And then he would be like, okay, you guys win.
How I'm going to end this segment is, should liberals get guns? Put it in the comments below. Let us know. Nah, but seriously, we don't want anybody hurting each other or going out there going to war with all Americans. And hopefully this is going to get wind down soon. I heard that some business leaders are coming out there and they're trying to pressure his team to finally concede. So we'll see if that happens.
I tell you what, if there's a mass movement like Black Panther to get all black people with guns, they're going to pass gun control with the quickness.
Real quick.
And like tomorrow.
But only in inner cities in these zip codes, and if you have this amount of income, and all the ways that they can determine if you're black or not.
Yes.
So Izzy, right. You know, he's very worried about the Civil War. I'm still of the camp that there's no money to be made in the Civil War, and the corporations are still more powerful than everyone. So for them, there will be bad business to have civil war. So for them, they're going to do everything in their power to keep the money train rolling, whether it's with Trump or whether it's with Biden or whether it's with whoever. I just don't see there being, I don't know what the end game of a civil war would be, you know? So it's kind of like they'll get him in power, and then what? And then the country's burning, and then people are dead, and then nobody's buying things, and nobody's
but what are the corporations? What do the corporations have any influence over the TFGs? I mean, I agree with you, but they have no influence over these TFGs who want to start the Civil War. Yeah,
I think there's going to be, not there's going to be, but there's a potential of having some of these militia groups, whatever, starting something, but I don't think it will get like very large scale. It could get bad enough that in certain pockets, it could be, less even. But I don't think you'll ever get like all out.
Let us know in the comments below what you think about all these Trumpers out here. Let us know in the comments below.